Just sitting here, having my egg McMuffin and drinking my coffee that don't have enough sugar in it, because it never does. The girl's like, how many sugars you want? 2? I was like, no. She's like, 3? No. 4? No. 5? No. 6? Yes. And it still ain't sweet enough. Just showing you around here. This brings back memories. I'm fortunate to live near where I grew up my whole life. I'm like 10 minutes away from where I was born and raised. And it's pretty cool because when that happens, because you can come back and remember things where you grew up and everything. And I was like, pretty interesting story. This school here is a Catholic school called St. Eugene's. And I went there for 5 years. And I never liked school. And everyone that went to school with me are probably saying, yeah, that's putting it lightly. I never liked school. Got in a lot of trouble. Skipped a lot of days. Had no interest in it whatsoever. Didn't like the teachers, the nuns, because I was an asshole. So it got to the point where back then, when you got punished in school, especially Catholic school, it wasn't a detention or anything like that. I mean, it was. They used to put you in a closet. They used to put me and my friend John and my other friend John, that you guys know who you are. And when we used to act up, and Jimmy, when we used to act up, they would put us in the closet and close the doors. Or put our desk in the hallway, or pull your hair, or slap you across the face. I got slapped across the face so hard one time, I seen a white flash. Now you gotta remember, I was like in 4th grade. Man, you do that today, man, you sue the balls off of school. They don't do that anymore. So, my last year in St. Eugene's was grade 5. I think it went from grade 1 to 8. So I was in grade 5, and I don't remember what I did. Okay, they just got fed up with me, and I got in trouble, and they put you in the closet. Now it wasn't a little closet. It was a big closet where everyone kept their coats and backpacks and their lunches and everything. And they put me in there, and I decided to say, hey, while I'm in here, I'm going to eat some lunches. And I decided to look at this guy. That's what I need to do. I need to walk. I decided to eat a couple people's lunches. And that pretty much did it. And they kicked me out from a Catholic school, and right across the field, there's a school there called Primos C. Kane School. Went to that school. And a couple others from St. Eugene's came over after me because they kicked them out too. Actually, the same guys I was telling you about eventually came over to Primos School. And I was in 6th grade there, for the 6th grade there. And that was the last year at that school. Then you went to middle school after that. And I had a really cool teacher. He was used to dealing with kids that were fucked up. And he was really strict. He'd kick your ass, if you got out of line. But he got respect because the kids liked him. His name was Mr. Yole. I'll never forget it. Never forget it. And when I wasn't in school, he would always call to make sure I was home sick, or he'd rat your ass out. But sometimes I wasn't home. And back then, your parents didn't side with you. They sided with the teachers. So, it ain't like my mom protected me. She got really pissed, and she would beat your ass too. And she would always side with Mr. Yole because he was my other sister's teachers from years before, and everyone liked Mr. Yole. So there was no way I could get any sympathy from my family when I cut school. And then there's a woods right there, right next to the school. It goes down. There's a creek, whatever you want to call it. And we had underground forts and all that stuff. And we used to go down there during school hours and sit in the underground forts. And that's the way it was back then. It was cool. There's a football field. That was the only thing I was really good at that gave anything to the school, gave back to the school. I was a decent running back when I was thin. And just brings back memories being here. Thought I'd share this video. Pretty cool being up here. I haven't been up here in so long. We used to come up here on Friday nights. There used to be a real big tree right where that guy's walking that dog, if you can see that. About 10 yards ahead of him, there was a big tree, huge. It was so big, we called it the tree. And everyone always met at the tree. We sat at the tree with our boombox radio, listening to The Who, Leonard Skinner, Pink Floyd. I mean, back then the music sounded different. It was just different. Like when you listen to it today, it just sounds like music. But back then, I don't know. I can't explain it. It was just more meaningful, I guess. Yep, we'd hang there. We'd all meet there around, I don't know, 7 o'clock, maybe 6 o'clock. We'd sit there all night long drinking quarts of beer, trying to find someone to go in the liquor store and get us a quart of Miller High Life or whatever. Anything we can get our hands on. If you got a case of beer, that was the treasure for So anybody watching, like, John Martin, Danny DiDoretto, John Eck, Jimmy Keating, George Kent, if anyone watches, especially all them guys, Michael Williams, any of you guys watching, I know you guys remember all that stuff. Alright guys, just reminiscing in my Toyota Tacoma, which I love, 2019. Truck is friggin' awesome. See you later.